one of the things that I think we always talk about as coaches is this rerouting rule on receivers waggling to the line of scrimmage. What depth does the defender have to be at? And how is it being interpreted? I can hear the laugh, but you're laughing because it seems to be different, and it's depending on who you talk to in times, right?
Well, it shouldn't be. I mean, we've had a standard for that kind of stuff now for 5 years. So the intercollegiate officials should be clear on that, unless they're not reading their stuff and looking at video.
Right.
I think one of the issues that's problematic is a lot of the coaches across the country are mentored and have had impact by Canadian Football League. And the Canadian Football League has this 5-yard rule where you're allowed to do what you want to do to a guy, and that does not apply to amateur football. As a defensive player, you can make contact and reroute a guy legally only within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I believe me, I know that rule. I've read that many times, but
So as a defensive player, what am I allowed to do legally? If I'm outside that yard, I can defend my position on the field. So if a defensive player interprets what the offensive player is doing, well, what's a receiver going to do? He's either going to try and block me or run a pass route. That's all a receiver can do. Run a route, block me. If he gets close enough to me that I think he's going to block me, he's in front of me, he's within a step or so of me, I can make contact with him legally. And I don't want you to jam him in the head. No, that's unnecessary roughness. But I can make contact with him to protect myself from being blocked. If he's starting to veer off one way or another in terms of a route, then I have to turn to go with him. Technically, I should not have my hands on him at that point. I certainly can't reroute him.
Yeah.
And so when we start looking at illegal contact, that's where that starts to evolve. But I know the passing showcases that the CFL sponsored over the last couple of years have been a great training tool for us as officials, and I'm sure you've appreciated it as well.
Right.
I can see what coaches are coaching. And I know the coaches in the OUA who think there's a 5-yard rule and they can bump up to 5 yards, and I'm telling them, no, you can't do that. And it's still there. So on your rerouting thing, it's notion that we've been really slack on that and allowed a lot of contact by defensive players, linebackers more so, I think, with, short routes, guys coming across. But yeah, you can redirect a guy if you think he's blocking you, but you can't reach out of your step as he's run by you and push him. That's illegal.
Yeah, as I've heard it described, you got to stay in your frame on those scenarios.
Correct.
You can't get outside your frame.